What's going on, guys? Hey, listen, I finally got my hands on some Terence Hughs, and apparently that was difficult because people are eating his fragrances up like hotcakes, Mr. Dancing Hands. So, I got to be honest with you, I don't know why, but maybe we'll find out since this is my first time smelling these fragrances. It looks like he has a ton of them, but I guess because he's from the UK, maybe people are snatching him up and people from other parts of the world are trying to pick him up and there's shipping conflictions. And since he seems to be independent, there's limited supply, but he's got a lot of stuff. So I'm really going to have high expectations because I really hope this isn't a type of house where it's just like, because of the names and the daringness and the fact that he's on YouTube, people are really subscribing to this guy. But let's put him under the microscope, man. Strap up.
Okay, for two. I wish I had moved side to side as I let this in into the room. You were on top, let's connect minds. Trying to get into a mood. We gon' be fine. Close up the blinds, no rush. Finish the food.
All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the evening. Today, from the house or from the perfumer, Terence Hughs, provided by Scott, this is Unicorn. And yeah, man, I find his fragrances to be sold out a lot, and hopefully that's for good reason. One thing I can tell you for sure is I've seen a number of Aaron's videos, and he knows his stuff. I think I even saw a video, he cried over a fragrance, and so it really shows his passion and vulnerability to really evaluate fragrances seriously and take the art form seriously and have a passion for it. And he seems very above hype. You know what I mean? Like he comes from a genuine place and he's not into the politics of perfumery, but rather the fragrances, the juice. He's a juice man. And I also appreciate the fact that when he reviews a fragrance, he does it from his vantage point, which is one that not many can talk about. And it's from the perfumer's standpoint. So he evaluates it like I'm a perfumer smelling another perfumer's work, and I'm evaluating what they did and what the company's ideas that went into it, how it influenced it, and the final product and the juice itself. So I respect his work as a content creator, and I can tell that he's in it for the right reasons. So now let's evaluate, put all that outside the door, because at the end of the day, I don't know him. So let's just look at the fragrance and see if we can get some of that same energy at the juice level. This is Unicorn. I don't know if I introduced that yet. And it's one of the plethora of fragrances he offers. I'm going to put this on skin. I hope I don't regret it because I think a lot of people say his fragrances, and I got that sense from him when he talks about fragrances that as a perfumer himself, he likes fragrances to radiate off of skin and really have the sillage projection and longevity with the boldness. So maybe I might regret putting this on my skin at 11 o'clock at night. A little bit, but it smells good. Unicorn is supposed to be an oriental, spicy, powdery, woody, sweet fragrance. Let's test it on the test strip. It's good. It's good. Do I need to break out the Stream Deck early? I'm going to give it a second. I'm not going to hype it up, but well done, sir. It's romantic, man. It's romantic. It's got this this is a fragrance where the first thing that comes to my mind as I'm like assessing myself interacting with this fragrance is it's very captivating. It has a serious and romantic tone that just sucks you in. It's a good smell and you want to smell what's underneath it, if that makes sense. Both on the test strip and on skin. It has a kind of Tom Ford maturity to it in terms of that kind of upper echelon expensive, brush your shoulders off kind of feel. Um, it has some elements of oud wood in terms of the scent profile, but it's got a candied luxury over it. You know, it's almost like something like a Instant Crush or a Dior Homme Intense hybrid baby is doing a kind of hug wrap over oud wood from Tom Ford. Oh, it's a beautiful scent though. Oh man. It's fruity. It's probably one of the most mature, masculine, fruity scents I've ever smelled. Normally when fruit's involved, it just automatically goes unisex or feminine, right? This is such suit and tie fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, it feels like an oud wood type of DNA, but just super bear hugged around it is like fruits and resins and other stuff, you know, maybe some spices, some powder. It's got the texture of Dior Homme Intense wrapped around this mineralic woodiness, but it has the smell of something candied like an Instant Crush or a Dior Homme Parfum type of, or an Amorous MFK, or, you know, just stuff glittered around it. It's like again, oud wood with sugary, fruity, resinous, warm, slightly powdery glitter on it. That's what it is. Let's you know, I find myself having the dancing hands, right? Top notes, bergamot. I don't really get that. I get the lift that bergamot is causing to the rest of the fragrance, but this heart is really what feels like the top, which is amber, frankincense, raspberry, saffron. Let me tell you guys something real quick. If you're a fan of ombre leather, eau de ombre leather, this gives you the same maturity as those fragrances, but just says screw it and goes fruits and resins, and like it's a much happier take on that style. Like it has the maturity of the oud wood and of the eau de ombre leather, but so much luxurious playfulness and romanticness out around it. 2024 release. Sorry, I couldn't find this thing on Fragrantica, so I found it on Perfumo. Amber, frankincense, raspberry, saffron. Truthfully, I get all of that. Base notes: cinnamon, clove, frankincense, oud, patchouli, tonka bean, vanilla, white musk. Guys, I truthfully get all of that in the most well-blended way possible. There's facets to this fragrance. There's the oud woodness of it, the eau de ombre leatherness of it. You know, I think that's kind of like this leathery, velvety raspberryness. There's this Dior Homme-ness about it, where you get the powdery, like Dior Homme 2025 release kind of candied iris kind of feel, even though there's not iris in this. You get spice, but spice is only like 10% of it. You don't get the spritz of the spice, like the texture of the spice. You get the feeling of that ambery, warm resinousness that the spice is just kind of projecting, that warm amber frankincense feel. The frankincense doesn't make the fragrance smell old and ancient. Again, this has a glitter to it, like a playful romance maturity. It's like a mature man who's still a kid, but he has money and knowledge now, and he's just having fun with the paintbrush. Very Terence Hughesy. Like this, his personality is really coming forth on a fragrance like this in a good way. I would buy a bottle of this in a heartbeat. I'm very anxious to see the price point. Like, I feel like if you have this fragrance, you don't need oud wood, you don't need Dior Homme Parfum, and you don't need eau de ombre leather. It kind of consolidates all three of those ideas. Even oud for greatness. That's another one. This smells like oud for greatness, but way better. It's not just the woodiness and the fresh woodiness. It's very close to oud for greatness, but I feel like other things are dancing around in the background. Very interesting. I knew that was what I was looking for. What did I want to tell you guys about this? Oh, I was trying to see the prices. Well, we'll deal with that later, guys. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be straight up and down with you guys. You hear that? That's the kind of fragrance this is. Fireworks. Okay? So I'm giving it a... Perfect. 10 out of 10 for me. Sorry, guys. The lowest you could rate this fragrance is a 9, guys. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. Again, if you're a fan of any of the fragrances I mentioned, Dior Homme Parfum, Oud for Greatness, Eau de Ombre Leather, Tuscan Leather, Oud Wood, any of those. I mean, screw it. Even Ganymede, it even has some kind of ness of that. But any of those fragrances, this kind of consolidates them all into one fragrance. You know, you get the serious, you get the maturity, you get the luxury, you get the Tom Ford spritz feel, you get the fun of it, you get the projection, the sillage, the longevity. I can tell this is a scent trail monster. I feel like it gets more classic man woody on skin, but I like that. I like that a lot, guys. 10 out of 10 for me. Not much else to be said. I feel like this is any season, any reason. It would lean like it would perform better in colder weather, but I think I would make excuses for this to be any season, any reason. Due to the freshness, I would try to avoid high heat. This is nightlife. This is cooler weather. This is ideally like a 70-degree weather type scent. It can be romantic, upscale, casual. Definitely not casual. Super upscale casual. Rich boy casual. Semi-formal, date night, theater, anything semi-serious. Formal, you'd be kind of a jerk, I think, wearing this at a funeral, you know, or something like that level of seriousness. But semi-formal down to upscale casual. This is a Swiss Army scent with maturity, with expensive feel. And so far, I can see why his fragrances sell out. This will be on my radar. I'm interested to see the price because I would love to own this. I think it consolidates a lot of my bottles, and that's a beautiful thing. Is he calling this unisex? It's from the Oud collection. I don't see whether it's unisex or not. I think it's a masculine fragrance, but you could make a case for a very confident woman that would rock this, so I'm not going to excuse that. But men, this is a manly fragrance. What else do I need to tell you? Alternatives would be anything I named you, but it wouldn't truly be an alternative because I told you that this consolidates a lot of those ideas. So in a clone or in a designer fragrance, you can only get a piece of what this fragrance does. And I think the closest you can get to it is like Eau de Ombre Leather, Oud Wood, and Dior Homme Parfum. And actually, I take that back. The closest fragrance to this would be Oud for Greatness. And it's quite close. But I think there's a little more beauty in the background of this fragrance by about 20%. Okay. Sprays on this, 3, 4, I think carry you 8 hours plus. Sillage, projection, all that good stuff. I don't know if there's much else to talk about because this is just a great one. Blind buy worthy. If you liked anything I said on camera just now, totally worth the money. It's going to be a long road searching out this house because he's got a lot of fragrances. I have a couple other ones thanks to Scott, but Scott, thank you so much for sending that to me. It's rare I come across a good 10 out of 10 fragrance, and to me, that is it, man. Such a good utility fragrance and such a good signature fragrance, being that the beauty of it is it captures ideas from so many fragrances I love. None of the fragrances I named are floppers, right? Who doesn't love Eau de Ombre Leather? Who doesn't love Dior Homme Parfum 2025 other than trolls online and niche snobs? Who doesn't like Oud Wood? You know, who doesn't like Oud for Greatness? It's the most talked about fragrance, even in the clone world. Okay, guys, Like, comment, and subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell so you can stay tuned for all the latest and greatest. I drop 2 to 4 videos every single day. If you're into fragrance content, we don't just do the niche stuff with our noses up in the air. We cover everything. I will make sure you have great resources, reviews, and tools and tricks and tips for your fragrance journey, because I'm currently on mine now. And in 1 year, I've put together more than 700 videos for your convenience. So if you like fragrance content, hop on board. It's free. Let me know in the comments if you guys have tried this, if you have it, how hard it is to find Terence Hughs fragrances. It looks like he sells them in small batches, which would be really unfortunate. But, you know, another aspect of it is if your fragrances are beast mode, you don't need 100 ml. You know, you might need a 30. So I digress. This was Terence Hughs from the Oud collection, Unicorn, and it was
Perfect.
Have a blessed week, guys.